The whole point of this show, right? We're going to go national here shortly. So I will say I've been on several national radio programs. Right, I've been on Mike Savage show, I've been on Chris Plant's show. Right, I'm on WMAL probably at least once a week. Right, and the guys like me when they call in. Every time I call, I go, "Oh, it's Warner from Lovettsville." Right. Well, first of all, I want to vow from you that you're not going to run third party presidential if your candidate doesn't win. I want that right now.
I'll up I'll up your bet. Not only will I guarantee you that I'm not going to run third party for president, but to take it local versus some things I'm not going to run for any party or no party for mayor or town
For
council.
mayor? Okay, so this is not a setup. This is not a prelude to Frank's eventual rise to stardom in Lovettsville as the
Not a
mayor.
chance. I'm
Yeah.
exactly where I want to be.
So I wouldn't particularly want to be an elected representative, personally, right? I'm just not that kind of guy, right? One, I've got way too many, people buried in places, but I have a lot of respect for people to do it. I mean, they really got to tell you, it's a different mentality and it's a different constitution by which they can talk to a lot of really, really, really stupid people
Well,
and be civil.
it's got to. I think we have a unique mayor. He's very level-headed, and he knows how to make this group and this group happy working together.
And this is an unpaid political advertisement by Frank there. No, I know.
Zoldis for mayor committee will be.
Yeah. So I know Zoldis really from baseball. I used to run Lovettsville Little League out here. I did it for about 7 or 8 years. Had a great time. Met a lot of great people. Right. And he had kids in the program at the time, so I knew him well. Yeah, and he seems like a real great guy. And the reality is, I don't care, so much about how Lovettsville spends their money because they're not spending mine, right? So it's not my tax dollars. I don't care, right? So I never, rarely. I should say comment. Not to even go down this road, but I'm just going to make the following comment right here, right? So we can't just make up definition of words, right? So that's why for me the way we spell squircle is with a C forever. If you spell it with a K, it's nothing but ebonics, right? That's why, like on some of the 2018 posts on the bank robbery. Right, I was always surprised at what some people said. Right, so granted, people are trying to speak freely, and they're not trying to be politically correct or anything, right? But there were a number of people that I know personally that said, I was suspicious when I saw two black people sitting on the curb, right? And I'm thinking, why would you say that? You're suspicious of what? Right, and so I was a little surprised, right? I wouldn't be suspicious, right? I would definitely think they're from out of town, just given, like you said, the demographics of this area. But I wouldn't be suspicious, right? And so I was surprised that people said stuff like that, right? In a public forum, such as 20180, right?
I joked after the bank robbery that even though people were critical that the suspects were using really terrible disguises, I pointed out that
were they using a disguise?
That they weren't terribly well disguised. They were exceptionally well disguised if it was actually two Asian women.
No,
okay,
yeah.
I think it would have been outstanding.
Yeah.
But
I said the same
little
thing,
hatty things and the glasses
Yeah.
and stuff were lousy.
Yeah.
And
But the funny thing is, as far as I'm concerned, what they were wearing were in line with their ethnicity. I mean, I've been to Jamaica. I see those hats all the time. That's very Rastafarian or whatever the case may be, right? And so for me, who's been in a lot of different places, I didn't think I thought that was quote unquote normal. I didn't think they were trying to disguise themselves. I mean, were they supposedly disguising themselves?
they were wearing some goofy hats and some. I mean, they were taking some really.
So no, that's actually my point. To me, again, having been well traveled, right? I saw nothing out of the ordinary, right? I mean, guy wearing a baseball hat, guy wearing the little, the Jamaican hat, nothing out of the ordinary, right? So to me, I wouldn't have picked that up as a disguise, right? But again, like you said, if they were two Asian women, then that's a dang good disguise, right?
You know that they're in jail right now in the Eastern Shore for 2 bank robberies there.
Really?
Yeah, they were picked up last week, like was announced first on 20180.
Yeah.
from yours truly, right from the town hall chambers as it was announced. Okay, but since then, information has been posted again on 20180 by a astute Facebooker who posted an article from a paper on the Eastern Shore that they had, after they were arrested by the FBI and they confessed to our bank robbery, they were also sent over there to answer for 2 in one county there. So I think after that, then they'll have to go to trial in all the other locations. But
I just can't get over in this day and age how anybody thinks they're going to get away with bank robbery.
There are hundreds of bank robberies a year, and still a lot of people get away with it.
And the thing is, we have all this public education system, and people are still too stupid to realize that you're just not getting away with bank robbery.
It's better odds than winning the lottery.
Well, that's actually true. Hopefully we can keep this community, somewhat united, right? Whether we're not so much in political viewpoint, right? But I think the things that sort of matter, right? So can we help out our fellow man? I think what the community of Lovettsville did, for Mr. Porter, right, really spoke volumes for what community does, in America. And so hopefully you get a little bit better idea of, what's going on in town. I'm telling you, I did not realize you were such a huge resource. You didn't just make all this up, did you?